Welcome to Jurassic Lore, where we separate fossil fact from Hollywood fiction. That iconic moment, the T-Rex roaring triumphantly as the when dinosaurs ruled the Earth, banner falls to the ground, is perhaps the most memorable shot in the entire Jurassic franchise. But what if I told you this legendary ending almost never happened? That's right. The climactic scene that defined a generation of dinosaur fans was a last-minute addition by Steven Spielberg, replacing not one, but several alternate endings that would have completely changed how we remember this groundbreaking film. Today, we're opening the InGen files to reveal the lost endings of Jurassic Park, exploring how these abandoned sequences would have altered the franchise forever, and why Spielberg's ultimate choice was nothing short of cinematic brilliance. So strap in, hold on to your butts, and prepare to see Jurassic Park in a whole new light. Life found a way, but it almost took a completely different path. Before we dive into what could have been, let's quickly remind ourselves of how Jurassic Park actually ends. After surviving a night of dinosaur terror, our heroes, Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, Hammond, Malcolm, and the Murphy children, find themselves cornered in the visitor center by a pack of clever velociraptors. Just as all hope seems lost, the Tyrannosaurus Rex bursts through the wall, snatching a raptor in its massive jaws. This unexpected savior creates enough chaos for our human protagonists to escape while the T-Rex battles the remaining raptor. The final shot shows the mighty T-Rex roaring victoriously as the when dinosaurs ruled the Earth, banner flutters down. This ending accomplishes several things masterfully. It provides a surprising twist where the previous antagonist becomes an unwitting hero. It creates a visually stunning final image that encapsulates the film's theme. It resolves the immediate danger while leaving the larger ethical questions unresolved. But this iconic sequence was never in the original script. In fact, Spielberg made this significant change with just weeks left in production. In one planned ending that made it far enough to appear in some DVD extras, the raptors would have met a very different fate. Rather than being defeated by the T-Rex, they would have been killed by, ironically enough, dinosaur fossils. In this version, Dr. Grant and the others would have used the fossil displays in the visitor center against the raptors. Grant would have skewered one of the raptors with a fossil bone, while an oversized jawbone would have fallen and crushed the other predator. Think about that for a moment. Instead of the mighty clash of living dinosaurs that we got, the raptors would have been defeated by the fossilized remains of their ancestors. While there's certainly poetic symmetry there, past literally destroying the present, this ending would have lacked the visceral power of the T-Rex's surprise appearance. As the screenwriters likely realized, after watching these creatures hunt and kill throughout the film, having them defeated so easily by humans wielding fossils would have felt anticlimactic at best. The raptors had been established as intelligent, formidable predators. Their defeat needed to match their threat level. Perhaps the most interesting lost ending, and the one preserved in recently discovered storyboards, involved a heart-pounding helicopter chase sequence. In these storyboards revealed by the Facebook page Jurassic Time and verified as authentic by Gizmodo, we see a completely different finale unfold. Instead of our heroes facing off against raptors in the visitor center, this version would have split the group, with Dr. Grant, Lex, and Tim in a tour vehicle being pursued by the T-Rex. When a fallen tree blocks their path, they abandon the vehicle and make a desperate run for a waiting helicopter that already contains Dr. Sattler, Malcolm, and Hammond. The T-Rex gives chase as they sprint towards salvation, nearly capturing them just as they reach the chopper. Even as the helicopter lifts off, the danger isn't over. The storyboards show the T-Rex lunging at the ascending helicopter, nearly bringing it down before it finally escapes the island. Imagine that adrenaline-pumping sequence. Our heroes suspended in the air, the massive jaws of the T-Rex snapping just feet below them as they rise to safety. While undeniably exciting, This ending would have positioned the T-Rex firmly as the villain until the very end, rather than the morally complex force of nature we ultimately got. It would have provided a more conventional action movie climax rather than the thought-provoking final image Spielberg eventually chose. So what led to this last-minute dramatic change? According to producer Kathleen Kennedy, Spielberg had been watching the movie in his head during production and began having second thoughts about the T-Rex's fate. The legendary director came to a crucial realization: the T-Rex is the star of the movie. Despite all its human characters and compelling ethical questions, Jurassic Park's true protagonist was always its most magnificent dinosaur. Killing it off-screen or relegating it to a one-dimensional monster role in the finale didn't do justice to the creature that had captivated audiences throughout the film. Working with production designer Rick Carter with mere weeks remaining in the production schedule, Spielberg conceived a new ending that would keep the leading actor, the T-Rex, alive and give it the glorious final moment it deserved. This decision reveals something profound about Spielberg's approach to filmmaking. Even with a finished script and storyboards, he maintained the flexibility to follow his instincts when they told him something wasn't working. He understood that sometimes the most powerful moments come not from elaborate action sequences, but from striking, symbolic imagery. Beyond pure spectacle, Spielberg's revised ending strengthened the film's thematic core. Throughout Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian Malcolm warns about the unpredictability of complex systems and how life finds a way despite human attempts to control it. What better embodiment of this theme than the T-Rex, intended as a controlled attraction, asserting its dominance in the ruins of the park's visitor center? The image of the T-Rex standing in the destroyed remnants of the visitor's center as the welcome banner falls carries tremendous symbolic weight. It perfectly illustrates that life will indeed find a way, with the T-Rex surviving even as the theme park that tried to contain it crumbles to pieces. Where the alternate endings would have emphasized human triumph over nature, fossil defeat, or desperate escape from it, helicopter chase, the final version acknowledges nature's ultimate supremacy. The humans don't defeat the dinosaurs, they merely survive them, and only because two predatory species happen to fight each other instead. The humans don't defeat the dinosaurs, they merely survive them, and only because two predatory species happen to fight each other instead. Beyond the original film, Spielberg's ending choice had far-reaching implications for the entire franchise. By establishing the T-Rex as an ambiguous force, neither hero nor villain, but simply an apex predator following its instincts, the door was opened for more nuanced dinosaur characterizations in future installments. The T-Rex's survival also created storytelling possibilities for the sequels, particularly The Lost World, Jurassic Park, where we encounter what might be the same T-Rex on Isla Sorna. This continuity would have been impossible with the alternate endings, where the T-Rex either dies off-screen or is last seen failing to catch the helicopter. Most importantly, the final shot of the T-Rex roaring triumphantly became the defining image of the franchise, a moment so iconic that it has been referenced or recreated in nearly every subsequent Jurassic film. The moment transcended the movie itself to become a cultural touchstone, something the alternative endings, for all their merits, likely wouldn't have achieved. An often overlooked aspect of Jurassic Park's ending is how it relates to the film's ethical questions. Throughout the movie, characters debate whether humans should resurrect extinct species and attempt to control them. The helicopter ending would have suggested a clear answer: no, because dinosaurs are too dangerous and humans must flee from them. But the ending we got is more morally ambiguous. Yes, Hammond's Park failed catastrophically, but primarily due to human sabotage by Dennis Nedry rather than because the concept itself was inherently doomed. The survivors escape, but the dinosaurs remain on the island, neither completely victorious nor defeated. This ambiguity allowed the franchise to continue exploring these ethical questions rather than settling them definitively. This ambiguity allowed the franchise to continue exploring these ethical questions rather than settling them definitively. The lost endings would have provided more narrative closure but less philosophical depth, a trade-off Spielberg wisely avoided. Beyond thematic and narrative concerns, practical filmmaking considerations likely influenced Spielberg's decision. The helicopter chase sequence, while thrilling on paper, would have required extensive visual effects work at a time when CGI was still in its relative infancy. The T-Rex had already pushed the boundaries of what was possible with the technology available in 1993. Creating additional complex animations of it chasing a helicopter might have stretched the production's capabilities and budget too far, potentially resulting in a less convincing finale. By contrast, the visitor center scene largely used practical effects, the animatronic T-Rex and raptor puppets, supplemented by minimal CGI. This approach aligned with Spielberg's preference for tangible, physical effects whenever possible, creating a more viscerally convincing climax. Would audiences have embraced Jurassic Park just as enthusiastically with one of the alternate endings? It's impossible to know for certain, but there's something uniquely satisfying about the ending we got that goes beyond mere spectacle. The helicopter chase would have provided a conventional action climax, thrilling but familiar. The fossil defeat would have offered poetic justice, but potentially undermined the raptor's established threat level. Neither would have given us that perfect final image, nature reasserting itself, the ancient world momentarily reclaiming its dominance over the modern one. Over 30 years later, that roaring T-Rex remains one of cinema's most recognizable moments. Its cultural footprint extends far beyond film enthusiasts to people who may have only seen the movie once decades ago. Such is the power of a perfect ending. It becomes the lens through which we remember everything that came before it. The lost endings of Jurassic Park offer a fascinating glimpse into the filmmaking process, how even blockbuster productions remain fluid creative endeavors until the very end. Spielberg's willingness to rethink the finale with production already nearly complete demonstrates why he is considered a master storyteller. What makes this change particularly significant is that it wasn't merely a technical improvement or narrative streamlining. It fundamentally altered the film's philosophical statement about humanity's relationship with nature and the ethics of resurrection science. The T-Rex's final roar isn't just a spectacular send-off, it's a thesis statement. Next time you watch that iconic ending, remember that it almost never existed. Consider how differently we might view the entire franchise had Spielberg stuck with one of the alternative conclusions. Would Jurassic Park have launched one of cinema's most enduring franchises without that perfect final image? We can't know for certain, but one thing is clear. Sometimes the most impactful creative decisions are those made at the 11th hour. So what do you think? Would you have preferred one of the alternate endings? Or did Spielberg make the right call? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the science and secrets of Jurassic Park. Remember, we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time, this is Jurassic Lore, where we're always digging deeper into dinosaur fact and fiction.